Hi, this is Phil, and I'm here to tell you all about the Capes and Lunatics Patreon. Get early access to all of our interviews, including the monthly Chichester chats with writer and comic book legend D.G. Chichester, new episodes of classic Capes and Lunatics shows, including The Quantum Zone, This, That, or the Third, and many, many more specials, all completely uncensored. Access starts for $3 a month, full video when you pledge $5 a month. Check out the link in our show notes or go to patreon.com/CapesandLunatics. Hope to see you there.
This is Jeremy Adams, and you're listening to the Capes and Lunatics podcast.
In brightest day,
in blackest nights,
No evil shall escape my sight.
but those who worship evil's might.
beware my power.
Green Lantern's light. Hello, and welcome back to another episode of Sector 2814, the Green Lantern podcast. I am Phil. Joining me, as always, Master of the Core. It is.
I am Will. Hey, everyone.
And this time, we'll be talking the second arc of New 52 Green Lantern. Well, kind of second and third, because there's, the Indigo Tribe, and then, yes.
Rise of the Third Army, I guess, or that's...
Well, no, Blackhand,
Revenge of Blackhand,
Revenge
that's right.
of Blackhand, yeah. Kind of snuck that in there, yeah. No, because, this is kind of going to end on a cliffhanger we're not going to get to for a while, kids, but yeah, because it's like, continued in the annual, but then the annual is like the prologue, the first army, so.
Yeah, it's going to be about at least 6 or 7 weeks, right?
Something like that, yeah, because
we got 2 per each of the titles.
2 weeks of Core, and then 2 weeks of New Guardians,
2 weeks of Red Lanterns.
I'm trying to remember, did we get the Red Lanterns before Green Lantern? We'll look at the schedule at the end, but yes, well, we have new Lantern books out there, but I did want to mention, kids, if you missed it, shame on you, but yes, Crossover Division number 5 is out there in the wild, kids.
It has been delivered.
Yes, Mr. Will
Nice.
Allred's book himself, yes. So, I haven't had a chance to read it. Like I said, it just came in the mail today. I was like,
Nice.
I don't know, man. I might want to sit down this weekend, grab the other ones, and be like, you know what? Let me just start from the beginning and just.
This is the start of a new arc, so there's a little bit of continuity going on there because of, well, the first few pages deal with what happened at the end in number 4 a little bit, and then we get a new story with probably not a spoiler since he's on the cover, Mr. Hyde.
Yes.
So.
Oh my lord. Okay. I mean, like I said, I didn't read it yet, but tell me the title has to be Hide and Seek, right?
Absolutely.
Yes.
That is you can't not have that.
Oh, so yes, kids. And again, the campaign for 6 is going to be starting here soon, right?
Yes. I'm still talking with the artist. She's a little bit behind. Alice will be the artist for number 6. So we're going to try to Pablo, Alice, and then we'll see the next arc if we'll start with Alice or start with Pablo, but we'll figure that. But we're going to try to alternate between them until we hit 20. The final issue is going to be like double or double plus size, so they're going to both be working on that when we finally get there, in 2027 or whenever that is. I don't know.
So issue 20 is going to be the end. Is that what you're saying?
Yep. Yeah, exactly. It's a 20 issue series. Why did the idiot writer, I don't know why he said, hey, let's do a 20 issue series. Yeah.
And then we'll see what new series.
I've got to survive this one first.
Yeah. All right. But like we said, new books out. Last week, Green Lantern 14 came out, once again in the middle of Absolute Power.
Nice.
Stay tuned for a Mark Waid interview coming up here. I mean, this one's kind of like the last one. It's, Hal's kind of trying to sneak out of Amanda Waller's custody here and to give us like a little bit of Alan Scott's locked up, but it almost seems like he's getting through to this Amazo who's he's like his kind of like his guard here.
So you don't have to spoil it for me, but I don't remember at the end of the last issue, was Hal's ring out of juice?
Yeah, because I think I don't know if because Amanda Waller's I don't know if the Amazo's kind of drained it or what, but
oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah, because pretty much most everyone is powerless at this point.
Gotcha.
But no, it's funny because like Hal's trying to escape the guards and everything, and he finds this like weapons cache of like weapons of like heroes and villains, and they're doing Jeremy Adams doing some deep dives here because first Hal's like, wait a minute, he's like, the only thing here is Condiment King's guns. He's like, oh god.
Condiment King, wow.
Yeah, man.
Nice.
There's that. There's Blue Devil's old trident.
So what you're saying is deep nerdery. Deep
Yes.
nerdery.
Yes. And oh yeah, there's a scene with Carol's there. It's what is it, in the Tower of Fate with some of the JSA. And then we get them what is that, Lord Thrawn again or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
A little bit with him. It looks like some of his allies are starting to see how crazy he is.
Yeah, the backup story that we got last time.
Yes.
Certainly indicated a high crazification factor.
Yes. And then, of course, Hal makes his escape, because he does escape with Abracadabra's wand.
Nice.
And yeah, that gets him to Superman. It gets him to Superman, Wonder Woman, and
Batman, my favorite character.
Nice. Well, that's kind of cool. They're going with the original Justice League then. That's good.
Oh yeah. Well, again, Mark Waid's coming out with that new book. I mean, we are getting some of the Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman. But again, remember, Carol Star Sapphire is going to be on at least in the first arc.
Yeah, exactly. That's certainly going to be worth checking out.
Mm-hmm. Oh, and then the backup story is kind of interesting because it kind of follows this like new Lantern, and it basically figures out it's like, he's part of the United Planets Corps, and he basically figures out, I didn't get a ring because I was worthy. I got a ring because I could be easily controlled.
Oh,
yeah,
okay,
yeah. So, and I mean, spoilers. Yeah, he kind of gets killed at the end. And it's basically just like, I hope the next person is like more worthy than I was.
So, is Mogo still around? I
don't think they've really mentioned Mogo.
Because I mean, if all of the Owen tech was removed from the universe, then would he have lost his ring too? Did he get it back? When the new
I don't know,
ball thingy. I think he's on the cover of one coming up though, isn't he?
Oh, maybe.
In the previews, maybe number 16.
Maybe. Well, maybe
16 or 17.
I mean, maybe that's going to be a big revelation Jeremy Adams is going to give us. Is like, maybe the United Planets have him walk down somehow. Who knows?
Yeah, cool.
Yeah, they haven't mentioned it yet. And then
I know I keep beating this dead horse, but I really want some clarity about exactly what happened at the end of the last series and how that set the new, standard that we're within right now. But because I'm still unclear exactly what happened at the end of the last series.
But yeah, no, the Green Lantern War Journal, the last issue, was out number 12.
Nice.
I mean, I don't know how much I want to spoil here, but especially with his mother and like his sister.
That's fine. Yeah, you don't. Yeah.
But the weird thing is he kind of keeps that ring, which I'm just like, so now John and Hal are gonna have rings that aren't like
all the other rings.
Specifically Owen, from this dimension and all that, and it's just like, okay.
Well, I mean, Hal's ring it was just made as a failsafe, so it's a standard ring.
Yeah.
But
John's is going to be like from another universe or whatever that is.
Yeah, it's a Dark Star ring, or no, it was actually isn't his ring one of the United Planets lanterns that went to the?
Maybe, yeah.
But then there is a Dark Star ring, I think, or something, maybe.
It's just so weird because, like, just the way Philip Kennedy Johnson write this, because I forgot, because it makes it seem like, this ring can do stuff other rings can. So, unless that's just John tapping into some of his Guardian.
Yeah, I mean, he's an ascended being. Is that still in effect, or I don't know?
So,
all excellent questions.
Yes, and again, hopefully we get some answers, because again, at the end of this, it says, follow John in the Green Lantern 15, which will be the one next month. Then Green Lantern Civil Corps coming this fall. So
cool.
Oh, and I'm sure you're gonna snap this up immediately. I don't know. Have you seen the any ads for? Yes, we're gonna get the 30th anniversary issue of Zero Hour.
Yep, I think I have seen that. Who was the villain of Zero Hour, Phil? I can't quite put my memory to that. Who was that?
I, of course, love Hal Jordan.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Oh, it's going to be written by Dan Jurgens and Ron Mars.
Very cool. Sorry, actually, Parallax was the villain of Zero Hour.
Yes, kids. Who was the villain of Zero Hour? Hal Jordan had a tapeworm. Yes.
Yes. A yellow one.
Yes. I'm sorry. You didn't even catch me. Yes, it's going to be written by Dan Jurgens and friend of the show, Ron Mars.
This is Ron Mars. You are listening to the Capes and Lunatics podcast.
Nice.
Maybe that'll be another interview. We should be like, hey, Ron, you want to talk about the special? Looking back at Zero Hour 30 years later. Oh, God, it's been 30 years.
30 years.
I would say in August, and that has to be next week then if it's still on time.
Yeah, it should.
So, God. Do you feel as old as the rest of us? 0 Hour was 30 years.
Hard to believe.
Will's like, feels like I was just raging about this yesterday.
That's right. Get off my lawn.
All right. So, should we get into these issues?
You bet. There's a lot to unpack in these issues. Just as a quick, we get finally the origin and the function of the Indigo Tribe.
Yes.
We get we get Black Hand's return and death and return, and a couple characters die.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. I mean, one thing you got to say about these issues is Jeff Jones wasn't taking his time, man. We were moving.
Yeah, I mean, you contrast this with the New Guardians issues where it was just kind of loping down the highway. We're blasting with 5 rockets down the straight stretch right here.
Exactly. All right. Oh, hold on. Let me get some covers up here. That's right, kids. 6 issues again. Oh.
Phil, I have something to say to you.
Oh boy.
Knock.
Who's there?
We're gonna be reading that a lot in a moment, right?
Yes. Knock, knocking on Sinestro's door. All right, kids. Yes, we're gonna start with number 7 here. Get the cover here because again, nice covers on these.
Oh yeah, definitely.
There we go. Number 7.
Nice cover.
All right, so hold on. The synopsis is being funky here. All right, so Green Lantern number. I just opened number 7. Come on. All right, Green Lantern Volume 5, number 7, from May 2012. The Secret in the Indigo Tribe, Part 1. What's this thing giving? Those things why it's hassling me. Just wanting to close out the synopsis. I don't know why. All right. On the Indigo Tribe homeworld, Indigo 1 has visions of Hal Jordan, Sinestro, Kilowog, and Abin Sur. She then gathers the Indigo Lanterns and prepares for a new mission. On Earth, Sinestro has just recharged Hal's ring and tells him that they must work together once again. However, Hal refuses. When Sinestro threatens to hurt Carol, Hal gets angry and attacks him. As Hal and Sinestro fight, Sinestro holds the advantage as Hal's ring cannot hurt Sinestro, who effortlessly incapacitates Hal and tells him about the Guardians' plans to replace the Green Lantern Corps. Suddenly, Indigo 1 and a group of Indigo Lanterns appear before Hal and Sinestro. Indigo 1 declares the Indigo Tribe's intentions to deal with Sinestro, saying that the Guardians' decision to allow Sinestro to keep his Green Lantern ring was a mistake. Then the Indigo Lanterns take Sinestro and teleport away with Hal following. Trying to help, Carol wields her Star Sapphire ring for the first time in months. On Oa, the Guardians and Vaz go to Lycia Drax's cell to interrogate her. Dismissing Vaz, the Guardians want the Book of the Black from Lycia, while she wants the Book of Parallax. Lycia admits she does not have the book, and a Guardian prepares to kill her. but Gantha tells him not to, as Lantern Vaz will ask too many questions. When the unnamed guardian suggests killing Vaz, Gantha tells him that they can't strike down their lanterns until they are ready. First, they must find the Book of the Black so they can find the first lantern. Then they must find Sinestro. On the Indigo Tribe homeworld, Hal awakens in a cell in his underwear with his ring discharged. Another prisoner begs Hal to free him, but an indigo energy blast knocks him out. Then Blackhand appears before Hal. Hal asks Blackhand, what does the Indigo Tribe want with Sinestro? And Blackhand replies that they are all saved. He says that Sinestro is no longer a worry and he will be reborn just like he was. Sinestro is placed in chains by Indigo 1. All right.
Lots of setup here.
Yes. So yeah, Hal's craving that ring, and then it's like all of a sudden he's back to, okay, I can build a life with Carol, and then
here comes Sinestro. Yeah.
I'd have been like, what happened to me not being worthy, or being
yeah. And then Carol goes for her ring to try to help.
Yes. So again, it's like literally we haven't rebooted anything with New 52. We talked about this last time. It's like she still has her Star Sapphire ring.
Mm-hmm. Sinestro is a Green Lantern, and I do like spoilers how they explain why they made that happen. Because that was one of the questions we had was they built these things. They know exactly how they work, and they know, and we find out exactly why they put that ring on Sinestro. Which I think is interesting. But yeah, the Smurfs are kind of bloodthirsty now, aren't they?
Yeah. What are you saying, Will? Gargamel was right.
Yep.
The Smurfs. Okay, Guy Gardner. All right. So yeah, I mean a lot happening here. The Indigos, sorry, I'm just trying to order it in my head because I read most of these in one sitting. So
yeah, me too. They kind of all.
Yeah.
Well, I read it from the hardcover, right? So
yes.
volume 2, The Revenge of Blackhand. So.
Was this all in one volume or no?
Yeah, it was. The first 6 were in a volume, and then 7 through 12 were in a volume.
Okay, yeah.
Volume 3 is the end. It has 0 and then 13 through 20 in it, and I think it's the end of Jeff Johns' run, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, because I think that's kind of why I grouped them like this. Yeah, because they are in the trades in this order.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Hold on. Sorry, I was just trying to open the DC app. That was giving me difficulties. But yeah, that fight with Hal and Sinestro in the beginning when they're fighting off the balcony and everything.
Yeah.
All right. Sorry. So anything else?
We're coming up to some interesting stuff with the Indigo Tribe and their lights.
Yes.
Because I think that's really interesting. Simulated.
Yes. All right. Ready for 8?
You bet.
All right. Bring a cover up here. Number 8. All right. So Powerless on the Run. All right. So yes, Green Lantern number 8, June 2012. The Secret of the Indigo Tribe, Part 2. Writer Jeff Johns, penciler Doug Mank. Inkers Mark Irwin, Keith Champagne, Christian Alamy, and Doug Mank. So 4 inkers. Colorist Alex Sinclair, letterer Sal Cipriano, and editors Darren Shawn and Brian Cunningham. Indigo 1 tries to calm Sinestro down, saying that he is among friends. Sinestro prepares his ring, saying he has no friends, but an Indigo Lantern beats him to the ground and begins to cleanse Sinestro's body of the green energy. Despite this, Sinestro manages to free himself from his shackles and furiously attacks the Indigo tribesmen that hit him earlier as retribution for violating him. However, Indigo and her lantern subdue him. Meanwhile, at the cell block, Hal continues talking with Blackhand, who says that the Indigo Tribe gave him a new purpose in life. He also says he can cycle through the emotional spectrum and manages to recharge his ring. Blackhand blasts Hal through some cells and some prisoners attack him, but Hal quickly defeats him. He tries to escape but realizes he cannot fly. The ring tells him that the energy Hal absorbed from Blackhand is simulated energy and the ring's power remains limited. Hal asks if he can still create constructs, and the ring replies that they are available but unreliable. Hal creates a zip line and a motorcycle to the Indigo Lanterns. Riding through the cell block, Hal manifests a map of the place, and the ring tells him that the dungeon spans over 100 million square miles, roughly half the size of the planet, whose name is unknown. Hal then finds a massive statue of Abin Sur. Touching a panel on the statue, Hal activates a series of holograms that say that Abin Sur is the savior and the creator of the Indigo Lanterns. He saved them all, beginning with his greatest enemy, Indigo One. Suddenly, Hal is attacked by the Indigo Lanterns and their newest member, Sinestro. So, remember before when we were Hal was getting every color ring? Well, now it's Sinestro's turn.
Knock.
All right.
Yeah, I thought this one was good because it's setting up really a lot of really awesome info dump that we're going to get in the next issue. Mm-hmm. Because, up until this point, the Indigo Tribe were, wait, what are they? Where did they come from? What did Abin Sur have to do with it? All of that stuff we had no clues. Now we're starting to get some of those answers. So I'm 2 thumbs way up. I'm happy we're finally getting these answers.
Yes. Oh, yeah. And then, what about Blackhand? Blackhand's kind of weird seeing Blackhand so calm.
Yeah, and not, without the crazy eyes.
Yes. Yes. Crazy.
We'll get more of that. We get more of that in issue 9, I believe, right? 9 or 10? So. 10. 11 and 12.
Oh, yeah, definitely 11 and 12, yeah. All right. Ready to move along?
You bet.
All right. So, Green Lantern number 9. There we go. There's the crazy eye.
Oh, yeah. That's definitely it.
All right. So, Green Lantern number 9. July 2012. Secret of the Indigo Tribe, Part 3. Looks like the same team here. A few moments ago, Sinestro was being transformed into an Indigo Lantern. During the process, he saw moments of his past life, such as when Abin Sur introduced him to his sister, Erin, when Sinestro decided to take over Korgar. Erin expressed shock at the action Sinestro was willing to take to end Korgar's civil wars. Sinestro told Erin to leave Korgar and never return. When Sinestro began conquering Korgar, a child strapped to a bomb tried to kill him in his suicide attack. Sinestro was unharmed, but Erin was killed. The conversion process is complete, and Sinestro was turned into an Indigo Lantern. In the present, Sinestro and Indigo Lanterns attack Hal. Sinestro expresses regret at everything he has done to Hal, but Hal doesn't buy it, knowing that Sinestro was brainwashed. Hal asks Indigo One why are Indigo Lanterns attacking him, reminding her of the alliance between the Green Lantern Corps and the Indigo Tribe. Indigo One replies that the alliance still stands and the Indigo Tribesmen will return him to Earth, but Sinestro will stay on the Indigo homeworld. Hal refuses to leave without Sinestro, so he escapes into the Forbidden Jungles, hoping to find this Indigo Central Battery. The Indigo Lanterns proceed to follow him. Meanwhile, in Ogoro, the Guardians of the Universe have captured Starstorm and interrogated him about Sinestro's whereabouts. Starstorm does not have any information regarding Sinestro or the Book of the Black, so the Guardians kill him.
Yeah, it's bloodthirsty little Smurfs.
Yeah. Hal travels through the jungle and finds a mysterious being who recognizes him as a Green Lantern. The being identifies himself as Nat Romo, and Hal recognizes his name from the Indigo Tribe Oath. Nat Romo says that he didn't want his name to be used on the Indigo Oath. He also says that Knock, translated to human language, means compassion be with you, and is the name of the Indigo homeworld. Hal sees that Natromo is not wearing an Indigo ring and asks him if he created the Indigo Tribe. Natromo replies that he created the Indigo Tribe along with another Green Lantern, Abin Sur.
Who?
What are you, an owl? Leading Hal to the Indigo Central Battery. Natromo tells him that a long time ago, an army of invaders conquered Knock, transforming it into a slave center. These invaders also wiped out Nostromo's species, making him the last of his people. Are you even an alien in the DC universe if you're not the last of your kind?
I know. Come on.
With the help of Aubin Sur, Natromo's species defeated the invaders. Aubin and Natromo harnessed the indigo light and forged special weapons that made their victims feel remorse for their crimes. When Natromo's people returned to the jungles, Aubin and Natromo created an indigo ring and used it on Irok, Aubin's greatest enemy. Natromo says that Irok killed Aubin's daughter. When Irok first wore the ring, she felt regret for everything she had done and cried. Aubin Sur cried too. They cried and mourned for hours. Natromo reveals that the Indigo Tribe is made up of the worst criminals in the universe. Aubin brought them all to Nock. Hal believes that Aubin transformed all these criminals into Indigo Lanterns to redeem them, but Natromo denies this, saying that Aubin wanted an army because he saw the future. The Blackest Night. Hal replies that the Blackest Night ended and the living won. Surprised, Natromo says that he must prepare for a future event. The end of the core. Aubin believes that the core would be destroyed by an evil from within. Hal asks what evil was Aubin talking about, and Nostromo replies that the evil was known as the Guardians of the Universe. Nostromo says that unlike the Black Lantern Corps, Aubin knew that the Guardians were invincible, so he created the Indigo Rings to stop the Guardians' madness. The Indigo Tribe was merely a test. Nostromo is prepared to attack the Guardians when Aubin returns, but Hal says that Aubin is dead. Shocked, Nostromo states that without Aubin, they have no chance at defeating the Guardians. Saddened by Aubin's death, Nostromo detonates the Indigo Central Battery. In that moment, the Indigo Lanterns arrive, but the battery's destruction deactivates their rings. Although Sinestro is freed from the ring's influence, the former Indigo Lanterns are released too. So yes. Knock, knock, we're back.
Exactly. This was a good issue. We finally get the interest. We get the answers about Indigo Tribe, where they come from, why they exist. And I think it's a good callback to Aubin Sur, because he knew, it's a callback to the Alan Moore and is it Kevin O'Neill Green Lantern backup story.
Okay.
Where the Blackest Night is introduced. He reads the 5 inversions.
Yeah.
So having him be the one to see the future, I think, is kind of a nice little callback.
Mm-hmm. And I wonder if that's even kind of one of the reasons they did some of that Flashpoint series the way they did, is because Aubin's at odds with the Guardians and stuff. And
I don't know, maybe. I mean, I still don't.
It's just weird.
I think that both of those were just weird. They didn't. I mean, I hope they worked for someone, and I think they probably did, but they didn't. Neither of those minis really worked for me the way they were structured and just the events.
Will's like, don't bring that up.
Yeah. Brightest Day, Flashpoint. Oh, that's a hard one.
Emerald Twilight.
Yeah. I at the time, I don't have a super high opinion of Emerald Twilight, just because I think it was very, very rushed, and it, of course, Hal's out of character, but I really like the fact that was still all used.
Yes.
For Rebirth, right? It was all built upon and explained and moved, and so that we could move forward. So, yeah.
I love Kyle Rayner, but you know what I was thinking the other day? What if, the Elseworlds aren't this specific, but what if they did like a Marvel What If, where it's like they focused on the end of Emerald Twilight, and like the Guardians were able to exorcise Parallax from Hal, so the core doesn't get destroyed, but Hal's still Green Lantern, but now he has to deal with the fact that he just killed Kilowog and messed up the core, yeah.
And now the entities are back. And, that's going to accelerate all of the stuff with the War of Light and everything. So, yeah, I mean, that would be
everything
kind of
happens so much sooner. And if we're going by 1994, we don't have a full core at the moment.
We had 12, right?
Yes.
Not counting Guy. Guy had left the core at that point. So, yeah, John was there on the Mosaic. So you would still have the Mosaic because Oa wouldn't get destroyed. By who, Phil? Who blew up a whole planet?
Hal Jordan. Oh, no, I'm sorry. John Stewart. Who blew up a whole planet? John Stewart.
No, he failed to save a planet from blowing up. Kyle blew up Oa.
Well, he knew it was abandoned. Of course, he knew the Mosaic had been evacuated. Come on.
Of course, yeah. Exactly.
I don't know. That's the dirty little secret. I mean, we evacuated everyone. Meanwhile, we haven't seen any of those characters since, have we? Those kids, none of them rose, none of them.
Yeah, nobody. I mean, we've seen John, and he immediately went to the Dark Stars, right?
Yeah. Remember, he woke up. He's like, "Oh, my ring don't work."
But it doesn't have to. You're a guardian.
I forgot.
I forgot.
I'm gonna forget that for 20 years or so.
Well, and that was, again, we have a lot of criticism for the last volume of Green Lantern, the Jeffrey Thorne run. I do like one of the quick little retcons was him talking to Ganthet and Ganthet wiping his memory of him being an ascended being, as a quote unquote new Guardian. I think that I really like that aspect. There are several things I liked about that, but there's also a lot of things that never really hit for me. Most of them around the new gods.
I mean, I'm not saying I'm gonna like everything, but it's like at least try to explain it.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll give you credit for an effort. Be like, okay, well, at least they try to explain it away.
Mm-hmm. And that was good. But now, I mean, we still so much weird crap around the end of the last Green Lantern volume and Dark Crisis. All of these Green Lanterns are dead, except they're not. And then we have the Rainbow Ball, which is I don't know.
What's that?
What is that?
All right, we ready for 10?
Rock on.
All right. Wait a minute. Where's number 10? Did I not open 10? Hold on. I was about to put 10 up. It said, I hear you knocking, but I can't come in. Come on. There you go. There you go. Sorry, kids. There you go. All right. So
there we go.
Yes, look at Sinestro. Yes, Sinestro. All right. So Green Lantern number 10 from August 2012, The Secret of the Indigo Tribe conclusion. Looks like almost the same team, except this time colorist is Hi-Fi Design. Oh, wow. We got 1, 2, 3. We got 4 editors on this. Darren Shawn, Will Moss, Brian Cunningham, and Matt Idelson. So 4 editors.
Wow.
So, what's issue 10? Knock, who's there? A lot of as Hal and Sinestro are pursued by the former Indigo tribesman, Blackhand takes off his Indigo ring and tries to escape. Hal and Sinestro run into the jungle, and Hal explains that the Indigo tribesmen are in fact brainwashed criminals, but their battery is dead and they have reverted to their former selves. Sinestro tries to fight, but Hal gets him into a Jeep construct. Sinestro says that he doesn't need Hal's help, but Hal asks if Sinestro doesn't need him, why did he give him a ring in the first place? He was willing to get his life back on track, but because of the Guardian's plan, he will have to get involved in the Green Lantern affairs again. Sinestro replies that Hal is a Green Lantern and that is his life. Suddenly, they stumble upon Natromo, and Hal imprisons him in a cage. Natromo pleads to be released so he can say goodbye to his family, but Hal asks him to repair the Indigo battery. Sinestro threatens Natromo by aiming a stake at his neck, but Hal convinces him that fear will not solve the problem. Sinestro decides to hold the Indigo tribesmen off while Hal and Natromo try to repair the battery. As Hal and Natromo get to the battery, Natromo asks Hal, how did he know Albin, sir? Hal replies that Albin was his predecessor in the Green Lantern Corps. He gave him his ring and responsibilities, and if that includes uniting the Indigo tribe against the Guardians, then he will accept that responsibility as well. Hal inspires Nostromo to believe in himself as much as he believed in Aubin. Nostromo tries to repair the battery, but he cannot reassemble the pieces without a single spark of compassion. Suddenly, Iroque enters the battery chamber, begging them to repair the battery. Hal and Nostromo realize that even without her ring, Iroque is capable of feeling compassion. Using Iroque's compassion, Nostromo successfully repairs the battery, restoring the Indigo Tribe, including Sinestro. However, Black Hand jumps off a cliff, and his ring goes to seek a replacement. Although the Indigo tribesmen are back to normal, Hal asks Nostromo to let Sinestro go, but Nostromo cannot do that. Only the Indigo tribe can release him. Indigo 1 agrees to let Sinestro go, but only if Hal helps him find redemption, even without an Indigo ring. Indigo 1 asks Hal if he believes Sinestro can be a hero again, and Hal replies that he wants to believe that. Meanwhile, Black Hand is resurrected by a Black Lantern ring.
Who saw that coming?
Yeah. So what did you think about that whole thing with, do you believe Sinestro can be a hero? And Hal's like, I want to believe it.
Well, and they cut away, and Sinestro's back. So, yeah. I mean, I think it's interesting that we keep getting layers added to Hal and Sinestro's relationship, because there's going to be a scene coming up. I think it's Hal Jordan and the Green Lantern Corps, that I've seen. I've not read it. I've just seen the little panel where Hal asks if he thinks were we ever friends, and he goes, we'll always be friends, even though he's Sinestro. Exactly.
I was gonna say, do you think they're friends, or do you think like Hal feels like, again, just like with other stuff in this issue, like the Indigo Tribe, do you think Hal feels like, okay, well, Aubin was his friend, and it's kind of my responsibility to keep an eye on Sinestro? Aubin would want me to keep an eye on Sinestro, and if possible, redeem him.
Potentially, and I also think that they became, I don't know if friendly, but as much as Sinestro wouldn't really want to admit it, he probably respects, and as much as Hal wouldn't want to, I think they respect each other a lot, because, I mean, and we got that, this goes all the way back to Rebirth. Guy talking about, nobody, jokes about all of the Tattooed Man and, Condiment King.
Exactly.
But he never jokes about Sinestro, right? So, I think of all the lanterns, of all the human lanterns at this time, so just the Four Horsemen, right?
Not for long,
I think Kyle probably has the least amount of respect for Sinestro, just because
he doesn't have the history.
He doesn't have the history. I mean, he knows what Sinestro is capable of, and he was dating his daughter at the end of the last universe. Yeah, but John and Guy, I think
the rest of them have lived through Sinestro. Cal really didn't live through Sinestro.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, he dealt with his Abinsur's son. He dealt with some of the fallout from various Green Lantern stuff, but I don't think he ever really dealt with Sinestro.
No, it's kind of like the difference between learning about a war in the history books and having lived through that time.
Yeah. And plus we get that really great scene where he basically scars Sinestro, from Rebirth, right?
The alley rat, yes.
Who's dating his daughter.
It's like
or was dating his daughter.
It's like that scene from The Office. Well, I'm just going to date her harder. What's that mean? You know what that means. All right.
But yeah, I think this was a good issue and a nice way to kind of tie up this and immediately, and use this to immediately propel us into, Black Hand.
Oh yeah. Oh, what are you saying? We have to hand it to Jeff Johns?
Mm-hmm. It was a backhanded compliment. It was just straight up compliment, but I had to say, hand. So
wow, yeah. All right. Speaking of, should we get to number 11?
You bet.
All right. So, yeah, look at that cover.
The Revenge of Blackhand.
All right. So, Green Lantern number 11 from September 2012, The Revenge of Blackhand Part 1. Jeff Johns, Doug Mank. I think we pretty much have the same team here again, except 2 colors, Tony Avina and Alex Sinclair. We're back to 2 editors. At Knock, the Guardians at Knock, the Indigo Tribesmen are releasing Sinestro from the Indigo Ring's influence. At the same time, Sinestro is having a vision of his time as a Green Lantern alongside Hal. As the process is finished, Hal tells Sinestro that the Indigo Tribe agreed to release him under his custody. He also says that Natromo has inverted the bond between their rings. Instead of Sinestro controlling Hal's ring, it's the other way around now. And annoyed, Sinestro asks about Blackhand. The group goes to where Blackhand was last seen. Instead, they find a pile of black slime. The same matter Black Lanterns are made of. Oh, boy.
That can't be good.
No. Seeing that the slime originated from a cliff, Hal and Sinestro believe that Blackhand tried to commit suicide to prevent the Indigo Ring from inducting him again, and now Blackhand is back from the dead. Meanwhile, on Earth, Blackhand has killed everyone in a Chinese restaurant, taking a bag of food with him. Walking towards a nearby graveyard, Blackhand reanimates his family's corpses. On Oa, the Guardians track Sinestro's recent movements. Their map also detects a second ring near Sinestro. The Guardians finally locate Sinestro on Corrigar because Indigo 1 has teleported Hal and Sinestro to Corrigar. She also says that Natromo and the tribe will prepare to fight the Guardians, believing they can be redeemed just like she was. Sinestro, however, does not share her faith. He warns Indigo 1 not to try to force him into the Indigo Tribe again, or he will kill every Indigo Lantern. Indigo 1 admits that it would be an interesting battle and leaves. Hal and Sinestro go in the Corrigar sewers. Sinestro is ready to fight the Guardians, but Hal believes they can be redeemed, taking Ganthet as an example. When Sinestro asks if Blackhand can be redeemed, Hal does not answer. On Earth, Blackhand has taken his undead family to his old house. There he states that he will turn everyone in the world into zombies. Everyone will be like him, so he doesn't have to be the outsider anymore. Sinestro takes Hal into a secret base he installed in Corrigar sewers. As they enter the base, Hal finds a picture of Sinestro and his wife, Erin Sir. Hal says she was beautiful, but Sinestro destroys the picture. Then Sinestro opens a vault that contains the Book of the Black. He had recovered the book from Lycia Drac. Sinestro opens the book to find out more about the Guardian's place, but the book teleports him and Hal to Blackhand's home. Haha, to be continued.
Whoops.
Well, we got one more issue. All right, so thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, this is, we're, boom. I like how the Guardians are tracking them. They're suddenly on some unnamed hidden planet, they find out.
Well, they're like, there's not supposed to be anything there. There's not supposed to be a planet. There's not supposed to be anything there.
Yeah, and then they, find out about the second ring, and boom, they're teleported to Corrigar, and boom, they're back on Earth. This was a good issue because it's setting up what the Guardians are doing too. They're coming in, and I think in the next issue we actually see what the Third Army starts to look like, right?
I think so. Yeah. Like I said, we're gonna leave you on a cliffhanger here for a couple weeks, kids. But yeah,
a couple months.
We're gonna go back in time, and start because again we got to catch the other books up.
Exactly.
All right, you ready for the final one?
You bet.
All right. We can talk this. Then we can talk this whole thing out. All right. We got Green Lantern. There we go. Number 12. All right. So Green Lantern number 12 from October 2012. The Revenge of Blackhand Part 2. Okay. This time, penciler Renato Gaides and Jim Calafiore, and they are also the inkers. And editors Will Moss and Matt Idelson. Everyone else is the same. Blackhand has taken the Book of the Black, but is shocked to discover that all its pages read, "Hal Jordan is not your enemy." Who wrote this book of the Black? Will Ulrich?
I, of course, love Hal
Especially because I had to have written what we actually see it says later, right?
Oh yeah. Enraged, Blackhand attacks Hal and Sinestro, but Hal paralyzes him by shooting him in the head. Knowing that they need 2 rings of different colors to defeat undead lanterns, Hal tries to call Carol for help, but Blackhand's ring causes interference. Hal and Sinestro leave the house to boost the ring signal, but they find themselves surrounded by undead people. Meanwhile, the Guardians discuss recent events. During the Blackest Night, the Green Lantern Corps was forced to join forces with the other Lantern Corps to defeat the Black Lanterns. Resenting the other corps, the Guardians have decided to destroy them. With Hal no longer possessing a ring, so they think, and Sinestro under their control, the Guardians do not consider the other group a threat. They also intend to take advantage of John's guilt for destroying Mogo. They will use Guy Gardner's pride to destroy him. Ganthet promises to personally deal with Kyle Rayner, who he still believes he can rescue him. The Guardians have arrived at Nock, the Indigo homeworld, and intend to defeat the Indigo Tribe. Blackhand commands his zombies to attack the Green Lanterns, who do their best to keep them at bay. He also tries to decipher the book's words, wonder who Hal Jordan is, if not his greatest enemy. Suddenly the words, yes, Will Alred did write this, Hal Jordan will be the greatest. No, that's not true. You didn't write that because it also would have been Hal Jordan is the greatest.
I, of course, love
There
Hal
you go,
Jordan.
yeah.
Begin to appear on the book's pages, terrifying Blackhand. Yes, but the greatest what? As Hal and Sinestro,
we shall find out.
That's right. As Hal and Sinestro hover above. Oh yeah, that's right. That's a great cliffhanger. As Hal and Sinestro hover above the zombies, Hal believes they have no choice to fight without Carol. Suddenly, Sinestro summons his yellow battery. Hal says that Sinestro does not have a yellow ring, but Sinestro's plan is to use their green rings to destroy the battery, and the explosion will take out the zombies. Hal and Sinestro unite their rings and successfully detonate the battery, severing the zombies' connection to Blackhand. However, Blackhand survives and finds Hal and Sinestro unconscious. Blackhand reads the book again, revealing the phrase, Hal Jordan will be the greatest Black Lantern.
What a great cliffhanger.
Yes. So keep coming back.
Well,
kids.
and I think, the last page, both he and Sinestro's rings report them dead.
Yes.
And go out and merge back together to one, and then go out looking for a replacement. And I believe issue 0 is next after issue 12. Is that right?
Or no,
I think that's the way it was published.
I think it's the annual that maybe number 0. Yeah.
Okay, because the ring finds Simon, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, so we get the first of our new Earth Lanterns.
That's right.
With Simon Baz just coming up.
I believe you are
then
correct.
Long after that, like a year after that, a year or two, we get Jessica in
the Justice League book.
Justice League, yeah.
Because she gets the ring of power ring from the Crime Syndicate. Yeah. So yeah, I guess there is a tradition of some of these lanterns getting rings through unorthodox means,
It happens.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, yeah, it's really good. Like we were saying, these things moved.
Yes, they did. There was a whole lot of stuff going on in all these issues. Now, the Guardians, they went to Nock, they see it, but then they headed to Earth immediately because they needed Black Hand, right?
I think so. Yeah. I'm sure.
And then they also used the first lantern to create someone that a quote unquote lantern that would connect only to their hive mind, right?
Yes.
And he attacked a human and created another one of those lanterns. They're gonna build lanterns that way.
Mm-hmm.
No free will.
Free will.
Exactly. Sorry about that pun.
So yes, kids, it's going to be two full months before we pay this cliffhanger.
Yep.
So yes, anything else before I get to all the upcoming stuff?
No, I think these first two arcs in Green Lantern. I think have really, because we were kind of stalled. I felt like with that New Guardian arc, War of the Green Lanterns just kind of upped everything, and now we had to explain why Sinestro is a Green Lantern, but the New 52 has just been really, from a Green Lantern standpoint, this title has been really, really good.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I just wonder towards the end there if they were just spinning wheels to be like, okay, New 52's coming, kind of hold off on some of the big stuff until,
Mm-hmm.
All right. But next time, like we said, we're going to switch gears here a little bit. Next 2 weeks, we're going to get to some Green Lantern Corps. That's right. So next week, Green Lantern Corps 1 through 6, and then the week after that, Green Lantern Corps 7 through 12 and number 0. Then we'll get the first 4 issues of Green Lantern New Guardians, and then we'll get the Green Lantern New Guardians 5 through 8 and Blue Beetle number 9. I'm trying to remember who shows up there. Oh, and then after that, we'll get the Green Lantern so we'll get 3 weeks of New Guardians, Green Lantern New Guardians 9 through 12 and their number 0.
Mm-hmm.
Then we'll get the Red Lanterns 1 through 4. Then we'll get the Red Lanterns 5 through 8 and Stormwatch number 9.
Cool.
Then we'll get to the Red Lanterns 9 through 12 and number 0. So we'll get 3 weeks of Red Lanterns.
6 weeks of Red Lanterns and New Guardians.
Yes.
2 weeks so 8 weeks. Got 8 weeks of until we get
That's
back
what I'm
around
saying.
to
2 months, yeah.
Yeah.
Two.
Nice.
Yeah, 2. Yep, 2 of the core, and then 3 of the other 2. So, and then finally, in November, we'll get back to Green Lantern number 0, the annual number 1, and then issues 13 and 14. So
nice, very nice.
Yes, I love how we were worried about. Oh, what are we going to do when we run out of when we catch up with current Green Lantern? I don't think we have to worry about that for a while. Will,
for quite some time.
Again, we're not going to get past. Like I said, we're not going to get past New 52 until the end of 2025. So
yeah, so we and then that's DC Rebirth. And there's 2 titles. There's
At
2
least
titles
2,
in Rebirth. So yeah.
Like I said, by the time we get to the Grant Morrison run, maybe we'll just take those one at a time. So
yeah,
because again, there's a lot now, but then again, we do have that dark year where we had no Green Lantern book.
that's true. Yeah,
there was no lantern. Get it? It was dark.
it was very dark.
All right, kids. So there's your homework assignment for like the next 2 months. So so send us your thoughts. What we've done here tonight, what's coming up. Email us, CapesandLunatics@gmail.com, or call the voicemail, 614-382-2737. That's 614-38-CAPES. And remember, you can find all things Capes and Lunatics episodes, social media, merchandise. Get your brand new Capes and Lunatics merch. Get your classic merch. There might even be new merch coming here soon. Of course, you can always... you must. The man has come from Love Hellfire. Rain ran the money on us through the Cash App link.
Make it rain.
Again, keep us from dancing on that pole before someone tries to slap a indigo ring on our finger. And we go from playful dancer to king of the knock knock jokes.
She looks like she was just working a stripper pole down at Divas.
And of course, the Patreon, where Lilith and I give you something different, something uncensored, exclusivity to the patrons every month. So it's a crazy time. And of course, just like Justin, if you are a patron, you can suggest topics for us to discuss. So what are you waiting for? Get on the ball. All right. So fine. So get to the Patreon at patreon.com/CapesandLunatics, and you can find it all at tubespace.io/CapesandLunatics Podcast Network. That's tubespace.io/Capes and Lunatics Podcast Network.
More vicious and brutal than ever.
All right. Now for this, Mr. Will Allred, master of the Green Lantern Corps, master of the Quantum Zone, master of podcasting, and again, several successful Kickstarter campaigns. Crossover Division number 5 out today.
I got one too.
Ooh, well, I hope you can get a copy.
I know this is awesome. This is the hardcover. I think I showed you that before. Yeah.
I was going to say there'd be a massive problem with distribution if you couldn't get one.
Couldn't get a copy. Yeah. So, if you want to find me, you can do that. I'm at Walred. That's at WALLRED at Gmail and Facebook and Blue Sky and Twitter. I refuse to call it X, and other places out there as well. But and like Phil said, if you want to check out the comics that I write, you can check out Crossover Division at crossoverdivision.com. And like he said, we'll be launching the 6th issue probably sometime in September. And you can also check out Diary of Night at diaryofnight.com. And obviously you have great taste because you're here hanging out, listening to Phil and I talk about Green Lantern, which means you probably love Marvel's Quasar, almost as much as we do. If you'd like to find out more about Quasar, you can do that at the Quantum Zone, quantumzone.org.
I blew that.
Boys, you look at the party. I love the party.
I hope it's going somewhere nice. They aren't even attempting to enter our orifices. Seems like I'm getting a package every other day.
And of course,
I of course love Hal Jordan.
He will be the greatest
Black Lantern ever. Ha ha ha.
No. Again, kid, there's a 2-month cliffhanger for you. All right. Thank you for joining us. Again, come back next 2 weeks, Green Lantern Corps, followed by 3 weeks of Green Lantern and Guardians, and then 3 weeks of Red Lantern. And then we'll be back. All right. So,
Simon Baz.
and yes, we're gonna get the first of our new Earth Lantern. Jessica won't be that far behind. Oh, that's right. Then we'll have, when we get to a certain point, we'll have Far Sector covered too.
Exactly,
all right,
which is amazing.
Yeah, come back next time, kids, and remember, knock.